So thank you so much, and my apologies for the wait. But this is an interesting conversation that we're going to have, and I'll just set the context. Essentially, the last 2 years have made us rethink a lot of things, and as consumers, I think our expectations and behaviors have changed quite a bit. Now, how much of that becomes a habit of the future, only time will tell. But clearly, there are some distinctions, right? So traditionally, if we look at B2C and D2C brands, the endeavor was to be where the consumers are when it comes to communication. So decades back, you could see catalogs, you could find posts on your mailbox. From there, we moved to SMSs and emails, and now we are in the era of instant messaging as well. So clearly, the consumers expect a lot. It's not just about where they are and their information needs are, but it also becomes a matter of reliability. It also becomes a matter of how trustworthy you are and how effective you are. So I think instant messaging has given a lot of leeway to brands to be where consumers are and to trustfully respond to them. I think in the year gone by, a lot of research have shown that consumers are very, very likely and prone to interact with brands on these platforms because they are easy, they are convenient. And I'm betting that 99% or even more people in this room have one instant messaging app on their phones. Unarguably, that's the most loved and used. In fact, they're very close to displacing phone calls also, and that's WhatsApp. So we have, the most loved from, the instant messaging app from, let's say, Kiranas to unicorns. We have Chand with us today, who heads the business development for WhatsApp for India from Meta. And we have Ankit as well from Kaleyra, who are their partners in crime globally. So let's hear them out as to how this space and ecosystem is developing, and then I'll ask them some questions which probably most of you have in your minds today. So welcome Chand and Ankit. Are they in the room or they are? Yes.
This is the max. Oh. Hi everyone. So Sudip has already introduced me. So I basically lead the whole commerce solutions business for WhatsApp in India. So idea is how do we enable more and more businesses to build richer in-thread experiences within WhatsApp business platform. So before we kind of kick off the whole panel discussion, Ankit and I both thought that we'll just give you a brief overview about our platform capabilities and how businesses have been getting super creative in terms of building these innovative, engaging experiences on WhatsApp. So before I talk about the platform, let's just spend a minute to talk about the customer, right? Which is like, again, each and every business's North Star. That's the center of every goal: acquisition, retention, expansion. But what you're seeing is that like the whole behavior of customers is changing and customers are getting busier day by day. There are tons of activities, tons of tasks that a customer has to do on a daily basis. And right now what businesses do is businesses pull these customers out of like the flow of their life into their own ecosystems, and then basically they kind of engage with these customers and kind of try to convert at different touch points, right? And this is not something that customers want, right? Customers want to meet where they spend most of their time on a daily basis, and that's where these business messaging apps can kind of offer an immense growth opportunity for all your businesses to kind of engage where they are and really not let kind of customers break the flow of their life. So now you might think that You might think that, hey, these messaging apps are basically meant for users to engage with their end, family members or their friends. But you might think, like, why would basically a user engage with a business on like these messaging apps, right? But behavior is changing and the numbers speak, right? So while we have more than 3 billion plus people using meta messaging apps every month, and in India we have more than 576 plus million users using WhatsApp, what we have now seen is that globally, 1 billion plus people message businesses on our app each week. So this whole trend is changing. Almost like 40–50% of the users using WhatsApp globally are now engaging with businesses. So this is number, right? Another thing is the surveys that our global teams have been doing across the markets is giving us enough and more signals that users are looking to build very personal, engaging, one-on-one relationships with their businesses on WhatsApp. Okay. So let's just talk about the kind of solutions, the kind of offerings we have across the whole B2C consumer funnel. And I'll kind of keep sharing certain examples so that you get a view on again, what kind of use cases businesses are building on a platform. So let's first talk about the first step in the funnel, which is awareness. When it comes to awareness, we have certain solutions. Number one, which is very powerful, is click to WhatsApp ads, right? So you basically run ads on Instagram, Facebook, and you land users onto WhatsApp. Now you might think that, like, I'm already having my website, I'm already having my app. Why should I just even think about like directing users onto WhatsApp for getting certain tasks done or for meeting certain objectives, right? The number one reason that you should basically think of allocating some amount of budget to WhatsApp ads, click to WhatsApp ads, would be basically the kind of reach it can provide. No other, neither your website, neither your app would be able to provide, because there's this, like we just heard, from the Misho talk, that there are these large base of users, Bharat users, who are looking for like very cluttered free, very simplified experiences, and WhatsApp is a channel which can actually provide, right? Because when they land onto website or when they land onto app, they might just get overwhelmed, but WhatsApp is the platform which will allow businesses to really expand the reach. There's a reason why Uber launched the end-to-end ride booking experience on WhatsApp. Like Uber CEO mentioned that, hey, my app install base in India is 20 million users. I'm not able to reach beyond 20 million, no matter what I do. My cost economics are not working out, and that's the point when he decided to get the whole Uber end-to-end booking experience, ride booking experience on WhatsApp. They're already live in a few cities, and they're planning to kind of take it live and expand it beyond the northern regions of India. Another one example I'll give is Urban Company. For example, Urban Company, while they have an app, they also run a lot of click to WhatsApp ads to land users onto WhatsApp, and then they kind of want users to book AC, repair service, salon services on WhatsApp directly in 2 or 3 easy taps, right? Now, the reason why they're doing it, they know that, hey, there's this one experienced e-com buyer cohort which is very comfortable using app, and then there's another cohort who might be very comfortable transacting on WhatsApp and completing their purchase journeys, right? So there's these, one is reach. Now, the second main reason that you should really think of allocating budget again to CTW is the kind of access you get to first-party data. We are slowly moving into a world which is going to be cookieless. Every business would need access to FPD data, and WhatsApp is one of the main primary channel which can really give you access to not just FPD data, but it also gives you an opportunity to profile customers. So there's a lot of initial profiling you can do on WhatsApp by asking relevant questions to your end users, and all this data can flow into your backend CDPs, and then kind of, the same data can be leveraged, can be mined, and then eventually kind of you can send all these personalized marketing notifications, again, through WhatsApp and a number of other channels. So that's the power of CTWA. Marketing notifications you might already be aware of, but again, the best practices, how do you kind of, integrate WhatsApp platform with all your backend marketing automation tools, whichever tool you are using in-house or like any of the out-of-the-box solutions available out there, and really send very meaningful, valuable information at the right stages in the whole customer journey to your end users. So be it a customer who's browsed certain services or products but not purchased, or someone who has installed app but not gone ahead and purchased, can you just send the right triggers at the right time via WhatsApp? And then QR codes, which is very powerful. You must have heard about Bangalore Metro launching this whole end-to-end, again, like Bangalore Metro ticket booking experience on WhatsApp. And they have these codes placed in each and every metro station. You can just go, scan the QR code, enter your source, destination, station, and finish. Just pay it via WhatsApp Pay or any other payment method, and get the QR ticket right on WhatsApp. So that's, again, another innovative experience that's being built. And very powerful upcoming feature, 2023 feature, is the business search feature. So what's gonna happen is, right now, if you want to interact with any business on WhatsApp, the only way you can do is whether you have their mobile number or whether you have saved that particular business's contact in your contact book. But very soon in 2023, this feature has been launched in 5 markets, and plan is to kind of take it, like do a global release next year. So what you will be able to do is just search for a particular business name on WhatsApp, let's say Meesho. Even if I've never interacted with Meesho on WhatsApp, if I have never saved the number, still if I search for Meesho on WhatsApp, I will be able to see it in the search results, and then I would be able to initiate a conversation. So that's super powerful. And then another very powerful feature which is gonna get launched is business directory. So there are tons and tons of businesses, small, medium scale, mom entrepreneurs, homepreneurs, who are using our small WhatsApp business app, which is not like a API app, but just the business app. And what's gonna happen is that all these businesses will start getting discovered from the users and right onto WhatsApp. So if you search nearby restaurants, you'll see all the nearby restaurants around you, or nearby shopping outlets. Again, like recommendations will be given for all those shopping outlets as well. So idea is that how do we even allow more and more users to initiate messages, these interactions with the end businesses on the channel. So moving down the funnel, we have the next step obviously would be consideration and engagement, right? Again, marketing notifications is a standard use case, but beyond that, we have very strong catalog features where businesses can expose limited catalogs to the end users and really run very targeted marketing notifications. So just giving you an example, there's one company A who runs marketing notifications and redirects users outside WhatsApp to their website or app to complete the purchase. Usually what would happen is you would be like, hey, I'm super lazy, maybe I'll take a look later on. I'm not keen to kind of interact or click on this link right now at this stage. But let's say if that same message contained the rich in-thread experience where I could actually view the catalog or the SKUs that they were promoting or curated collections that they were promoting right within WhatsApp, browse through those items, add it to the cart, and complete the purchase. Your conversions, the engagement rate obviously is gonna shoot up. And I'll show you certain examples as well in the subsequent slides. And then, again, super powerful feature that's coming up in 2023 is native form templates. So right now, if you see, the whole experience on WhatsApp is very conversational, that anytime you want to interact with business, it is always by exchange of messages. What we are planning to do is try to build an experience which is a mix of conversational and transactional. So maybe you start a conversation with a hi, like a user starts with a hi on and interacts with the end business. But ultimately, if say a business wants to take certain inputs from the user, can it be changed to a form-based template? So instead of asking inputs one by one, can they ask for 5 or 6 inputs via a form? Very much possible. So that's, again, a step towards allowing businesses to build richer in-thread experiences. And already aware about the post-purchase solutions that we have, which is all the transactional messages, customer care messages can be sent in an automated manner via WhatsApp. Now, one very interesting insight I see is that many businesses use WhatsApp as a passbook as well. So all these utility providers, they are like, hey, I don't want users to call me again and again and kind of ask me, hey, send me this particular electricity bill for XYZ month, or I'm not able to find this particular invoice or warranty card. And what they have done is that they kind of send this information over WhatsApp and just ask users to store in their media section, right? So tomorrow, if I want to kind of just find my gas bill for the month of April, I can just go to Gujarat Gas or any other gas's WhatsApp account, click on media and access like that particular invoice or bill in a tab. So just imagine like, calling for hours and hours to finally get access to the bill versus easily accessing on WhatsApp. And re-engagement, right? So there are so many businesses are getting very creative when it comes to engaging with their dormant base, resurrecting like the inactive user base that they have, right? One very good example of a D2C brand was that they basically like, they ran a whole campaign, marketing campaign on WhatsApp, and they were like, hey, if you fill up this survey, you are eligible for a freebie. And then like, they got a lot of information again about the end user through these surveys. They kind of, promoted the freebie offer. And finally, kind of, they started upselling a lot of other products and services, that they already had in their portfolio. So they were able to meet two goals, right? One is resurrecting the base, and another one is how do we kind of, increase the average order value as well. You must have already heard about JioMart. I'm not going to play. We are like running. We have to get into the panel discussion as well. But you can always scan the QR code and kind of experience yourself how the whole end-to-end shopping experience for JioMart looks like on WhatsApp. And idea is how now, like starting 2023, we plan to kind of maybe scale it up and kind of include more and more businesses on a similar experience. Okay. Yeah. Here is one example of like, I'll just play the example of Boat, where they have launched the whole end-to-end shopping experience on WhatsApp. So I just say, hi, I'm able to browse through all the different collections. Then I can kind of, add certain items to the cart. I can also select a particular variant for the product that I have selected, like color or size. And then finally kind of, go ahead and complete the order. So the whole journey, like, idea is how do we get more and more interaction getting closed right on WhatsApp, and there is minimum redirection. Similarly, like Boat, there are like tons of other D2C brands who have built some kind of commerce journeys and flows on WhatsApp. And Bangalore Metro I've already discussed, so I'm not going to discuss it again, but these are the QR codes which are being placed at every metro station, and tickets can easily be booked, and they're seeing very good results. 50%, 60% of tickets are getting booked via WhatsApp versus 40% getting booked from app. So just imagine, like, no one would have thought that, like, the kind of contribution that WhatsApp could make could be beyond 30, 40%, but it's as high as 60%. Okay, and this is the business search feature which I was talking about, where you basically search for any business's name or brand name, and it comes up or pops up in the search results. I'm going to hand it over to Ankit from Kaleyra. Kaleyra is one of our business solution partners, and he'll talk more about the kind of capabilities they have built on top of WhatsApp platform.
Hello. Right, thank you, Chand. So where does Kaleyra come in, or where does a CPaaS player like Kaleyra, and you have many more around here, come in this ecosystem and help enterprises and companies to leverage these new age channels, right? That's where Kaleyra comes in as a trusted BSP partner with companies like Meta and other channels out there. And I'll just take you through a fair bit about what Kaleyra does and how we help enterprises to create these meaningful engagements on different channels. Right, so just a slide on what we do and who we are. So basically, we, as Kaleyra, are an omni-channel platform. We help businesses to connect with customers on providing a scalable and trusted solutions on their preferred channels. So be it messaging, any channel over messaging, which is obviously including WhatsApp, be it voice, be it SOIP, be it all the other channels out there, email and chat as well. What is the value add we provide? Obviously, we are a global company. We are focused on enterprises. We believe in co-creating rather than do-it-yourself models. We have a high track record to be purely based over a transactional channel of communication. And then, obviously, we are secure and highly regulated because we are listed on the NYSE and the standard protocols are followed. Coming back to what Chand was speaking, and this is a fair snapshot where a CPaaS company or a partner comes in and helps enterprises to create these, journeys at different stages. Basically, you start with a discovery. Misho spoke about a lot about how they have their consumers discover certain products. So you start with discovery, you go to a purchase, and then you go to a post-purchase. Obviously, the channels can be different. You can be on WhatsApp. That's what we are speaking about. But then how do you drive these conversations is very important. And that's where partners like Kaleyra come in and help you co-create and help you create these seamless journeys by use of our APIs. I've already spoken about this, so I'll skip this slide. Cool. What is the value add again, right? Now we saw screenshots of Geo, we saw screenshots about Bangalore Metro. Now what's required at the back end? What's the infra required? What are the APIs required? What's the scale required? And that's where the technology aspect comes in. And obviously, not all D2C brands out there, startups alike, are really not capable to scale completely on a preferred channel. So that's where companies like Kaleyra come in and help you to scale conversations on different channels. Okay, this again speaks about the technology stack I was getting into. So our APIs or any APIs out there with a CPaaS provider like Kaleyra, you could integrate them with any CRM tool, any CDP platforms, the ERP tools you have out there, and obviously your inventory management solutions. So it's a single API with multiple channels. So we call it the omni-channel API, where by the use of SMS, voice, email, chat can be kind of integrated, and you can trigger these notifications at different journeys. I'll kind of skip this again because Chand obviously showed you some screenshots, but how does that happen again on the back end? Obviously, there are bots you can place. Now, there are 3 types of bots you can run, right? You can have a bot which is just a dumb bot and giving out a response, a standard static response. And then there are some data bots where kind of they ask you some questions, and depending on those questions, they take you through the next steps of the customer engagement. And then obviously there are complex bots with, we talk a lot about AI, things like that, but then it's more about a data science bot in terms of, just recognizing the customer's intent and then kind of taking you where you belong. So again, Kaleyra comes in there as a partner to help you build these solutions over different channels. This is a brief about what's under the hood at Kaleyra or a CPaaS player like Kaleyra. We obviously work on channels. I've spoken about the channels, messaging, voice. We have something which is WebRTC. We're trying to build some cool customer experiences by use of in-app audio-video solutions. Then obviously there are the tools to work with for these messaging channels, right? Like messaging today, we only understand SMS broadly, but then messaging is more complicated than only an SMS as a channel. Today, messaging is moved to WhatsApp, messaging is moved to RCS, messaging is moved to IP-based. So Kaleyra helps you to be there on all these channels at any given point of time. Within those messaging and voice and WebRTC channels, you have tools to create these solutions. Now, these tools help you to create solutions like a simple, multi-channel OTP solution. Trigger an SMS, voice, email, or trigger one of these channels, or give a retry through an email. So you can set these rules and regulations and kind of trigger these notifications. And then obviously we have tailored solutions for specific industries, which is clearly building those complex journeys at different stages of your customer interactions. Again, coming back to WhatsApp, because we are focusing on WhatsApp here and we are focusing on the channel, on how it's evolved. Today, why would you use Kaleyra? And you could just set up those WhatsApp APIs by yourself. Obviously, you can, right? But then where Kaleyra comes in is for the scale and the automation, which I spoke about, to build richer interactions, because the knowledge and the expertise lies with CPaaS players to give you those use cases and co-create with you. And then obviously give you the new entry points, like Chand mentioned, the new use cases and the new features which would be launching in 2023. Yeah, so that's about it. What we do with Meta as a business partner, obviously, we drive over 100 million messages a day. We are growing 20% month on month on this channel. And obviously, we have about 650 registered brands as monthly active users on WhatsApp. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Hello. 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 Okay. So thanks, Chand and Ankit, for the presentation. I'm sure we have a lot to digest. But while we are doing so, sitting there, had a couple of questions that I want to pose to both of you. So as my opening salvo is like, so there are some D2C brands that have emerged out of the pandemic and beyond that also earlier. And then there are these B2C consumer, brands which are traditional and they've now made it to the online space. So what are some of the subtle differences that you kind of see and notice? One to you, Ankit, like because you're service providers and from a product standpoint, Chand, if you can throw us some light as to how do you see that difference emerging between a B2C, D2C, and now that they're trying to latch on to a platform like WhatsApp?
First, cool. So rightly said, there are very subtle differences in the ways these two different segments communicate to their end consumers, right? Now, it all depends on what value this particular segment wants to add to the end consumer, or what they're trying to portray as a brand. So if it's, in my personal opinion, if it is more of a B2C communication, I think they revolve the communication around more of brand building, driving revenue, different ways of driving revenue and selling. When it comes to D2C, rather, the communication is, more around product features, the value of the product in itself to the end consumer, and probably, they look at creating a conversation and giving the customer insights about customer testimonials to build more of a brand value. So it's very subtle again, but then this changes by means of what the brand needs to achieve and what they're trying to put across to the end consumer.
I don't know. Is it working? I don't.
It's the...
Yeah, so just adding to what Ankit just mentioned, right? I have actually kind of, interacted with a lot of B2C as well as D2C brands. What I've seen is that B2C brands already have like access to a large base of users, right? And the way they are leveraging WhatsApp as a platform is like they have a very pure goal in mind that, hey, on a monthly basis, these are my sales targets, these are my repeat users targets. I need to use WhatsApp platform to the best manner possible to really kind of, achieve those targets, right? Whereas D2C brands, because they're fairly new, the access to, again, like the user base is, again, very limited. What I've seen is D2C brands getting very creative when it comes to leveraging WhatsApp as a platform. So I'll give you certain examples. For example, there's this company, Baby Chakra. They kind of, launched a baby vaccine tracker on WhatsApp, which is very innovative, right? Similarly, there's a D2C brand, Slurp Farm. What they do is they've built a very intelligent NLP bot. Again, they have learned a lot based on the users who are kind of constantly asking queries about what should they feed to their babies, or like, what kind of vaccine should my baby take. And now on Slurp Farm bot, if you ask any questions on WhatsApp, automatically there are like intelligent responses being thrown or being fired from the business's end, right? So, and so basically D2C brands, like their focus is, hey, how do I get access to more users by building such engaging experiences? How do I drive brand loyalty by leveraging WhatsApp as a channel? How do I improve my conversions? So these are like certain goals that they have in mind when it comes to kind of, using WhatsApp as a channel versus B2C, where like, it's like they have kind of cracked the formula and they know that, hey,
They know
my
the
final
user base
goal is
really well from
sales,
historical
and
standpoint.
yeah, it's more transactional when it comes
Yeah.
to B2C versus D2C, where it's more engaging is the difference, which I've seen. But yeah, it's all converging
Right.
again. So,
So,
yeah.
so you mentioned engaging experiences. Now, all of us in this room also have very different the way we write or do things are very different. So can you throw some light quickly as to when it comes to hyper personalization, right? How are, how can one leverage this whole platform in terms of driving different messages and not feel like a very standard protocol driven bot-like answers to every question that a consumer has? Because everyone's love towards a brand is different, how they interact, engage is very different. So how can a brand can utilize this and leverage this whole differentiation on WhatsApp?
Rightly asked, right? So I will talk more around communication.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll talk more about communication and the different channels. So we are trying to come up with a very interesting concept which we call ICPAS, right? When you say hyper-personalization, how can I know that Chand loves to receive a message on WhatsApp between 4 to 6 p.m. rather than on an SMS as a channel, right? That's personalization for me in terms of the channel in itself. And then the content on the channel also matters. Today, yes, WhatsApp is the buzzword, but then again, you need to understand that WhatsApp is more of a channel where people love to drive conversations and not keep it really only a transactional based approach, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we love the approach of WhatsApp, where they're trying to build or launch features where you can drive conversations and then take them towards a transactional approach, right? And then personalize these by use of the complex bots or the data bots or the normal bots we talk about. So that's how we're trying to get to, we are not yet there, because how can you personalize, I mean, there are 2 billion plus conversations which happen, so how can you personalize every conversation? So I think data science needs to be looked upon really well to achieve this intelligent communication as a channel.
I'm saying, like what I've realized is this whole space of hyper-personalization is fairly new, at least when it comes to the whole chatbot world, right? So everyone is currently learning, right? So I haven't come across like too many experiences on WhatsApp which are super intelligent right now and kind of giving very personalized responses. But again, this whole industry is evolving, right? And it's fairly new. And a lot depends on the end business's capabilities, like, tech capabilities. So I'll give example of ChatGPT. Everyone tweets about ChatGPT, right? And they have built some intelligent, NLP engines in the background. What they have done is they have brought over the whole experience on WhatsApp. So now, if you ask any question on WhatsApp, on ChatGPT's WhatsApp account, because these APIs are integrated with backend NLP engines of ChatGPT, they are able to provide very intelligent responses, similar to the responses that they have been able to provide on other platforms as well, right? So it depends a lot on the business's tech capabilities, how intelligent systems they have built. And eventually, it's just about integrating those systems with WhatsApp platform and kind of, running such hyper-personalization campaigns or engagement chatbot activities, right? So it's new, but it's evolving. Like I told you, right? A lot of D2C brands are also constantly learning. They don't have these capabilities, but they're manually in the back end every week trying to evaluate or analyze what are those unhandled intents, what are the responses which were not being answered by my bot, and how do I then kind of, build a knowledge base which will eventually make my interactions with the users more intelligent and more personalized.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I think that's all the time we have. But everyone, give it up for Chand and Ankit. Feel free to pose them questions. I had several other more, but I think in the interest of time, we'll skip it. We'll move it along. But thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.